Hello, Timeless Gamer Crew. We're talking run and guns. We'll get to my very first choice, which is Contra Hard Corps for the Sega Megadrive. It's a 1994 game, part of the infamous Contra series, of course, that everybody knows and loves. Well, most people. If you like run and guns, chances are you like some Contra games. And this, for me, is one of the best. It's my personal favourite. Having said that, I've not had that much experience with some of the later entries. I've heard Contra 4 is fantastic. I need to get myself playing that big time. So that's all on me, really. But definitely the early games and the games of that era, this is my favourite. It's one of my favourite games of all time, to be honest. I think it's just got a perfect level of punch, of excitement, of thought, of memorization and twitch play. It's just a bit of a master. Well, it is a masterpiece. It's a fantastic masterpiece. What makes it stand out so much as a run and gun is that it's got 4 multiple playstyles for starters. You've got 4 different characters. Each different character, when you pick up a power up, that gives them a different type of power up to the other character. So there's a lot of replayability on that alone. Okay, but as well as that, you've got branching paths. Now, I can't really remember many games, if any, before this came out, that had branching paths at all in run and gun formula. The run and gun genre is generally A to B all the way through. This, you get to make different choices, and each different choices affects which stages you play. So it's honestly, I absolutely love how they've done this, and this is my favorite way of doing arcade style games, because I don't like it when they drag arcade style games out. When you play an arcade style game, you want to be playing somewhere between 20 to 60 minutes to finish it, maximum. And Contra Hard Corps, it takes that approach where you're going to finish it in around probably about 30 minutes. Off the top of my head, don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. I'm just estimating there. I should have timed it really before I made this video. But when you go through when you have all these different options, you can pick different different outcomes and different paths, and it just makes for a much more replayable, again, exciting journey. You know what I mean? And it's a very challenging game. I wouldn't say a lot of people say it's too hard. I don't think it's too hard at all. I think it's perfectly got its difficulty perfectly down. Although we'll come back to that in a minute. But between the nice challenge and between the different paths and between the different multiple play styles, it's just incredible. It's just every time you replay it, it's fresh. You know what I mean? It feels fresh and fantastic and action packed and superb. And with each of these different paths that you get different endings as well. So you've got 6 different endings to say. You've even got one of them 6 is a secret ending that you have to find yourself by exploring one of the stages. So that gives it an entirely different dynamic to just a straightforward A to B run and gun. So you're getting such a rich, deep game. A lot of people don't think arcade games are deep, but they are. If you unless you're save state, if you save state in these games, you're wasting these games. If you're touring them with rewinds and save states, you aren't getting the full appreciation and the full satisfaction of discovering and beating these challenges for yourself. Because it took me quite a long time. I can't remember exactly, but I remember it taking me at least a few weeks to beat Hard Corps once, and then I'd got like 5 other endings to discover, each with their own different separate paths getting there. So it's a very, very rich, deep, exciting, amazing game, and there's a boss rush element to it. I wouldn't call it a boss rush game because there's a lot of popcorn enemies that you deal with in the meantime, but there's a lot of bosses you take on. Any game developer now, right? Any modern developer should study this game without a structure, both the game and boss rushes, because the boss patterns in this are brilliant. Some are dynamic to the point where they don't actually repeat the same patterns. They do have set patterns, but how they choose to throw these patterns at you is very dynamic. So again, that adds to the replayability. And I've not even talked about like the look of the enemies, the the individuality of the stage layouts. You know, every single step you take is a different, fresh step. It's a work of genius. It really is. Back to the difficulty. There is only one difficulty. That would technically be one of my complaints about it, but there's two different versions of the games. There's a Japanese version and the Western version. And the Western version doesn't have a health meter. When there's a Japanese version, it does. So essentially, you do get a normal difficulty, which is the Japanese version, and a hard difficulty, which is the Western version. That's the way I always played it. I always play it. The Japanese version allowed me to get into it and get a feel for it, and that's what I put on when I want a casual blast on it. You know, it's when I just want to blast through it, and I'm not pushing myself to do a 1 credit clear challenge or I wouldn't say no death run, because I've only ever no death run the Japanese version once, but I normally finish it. We're about 2 or 3 lives left. But the Western version is a totally different challenge. I've not 1CC'd that yet, and that is, you know, a very nice meaty challenge as well. So between all those elements, between your branching paths, your play styles, your different endings, your difficulties, you've got one heck of a game here. You know what I mean? And everything's crafted to a T. Every little thing is crafted to a fine T. It's brilliant. So that's my first choice. Contra Hard Corps, Sega Mega Drive. Get it played and keep it timeless.